Hello, dear Dr. Hassascha. This is Masooma Mehrkhan, and this is my portfolio for the course Technology in ELT. I'm an English teacher, and my goal here is to create a student-centered learning environment to promote learner autonomy and communicative competence. And before I start, I wanted to thank you really so much for all your guidance and help all through this course. From your syllabus, which was, how do I say, perfect, second to none, which showed years of experience and knowledge, and all your help. Thank you so much. So I have a weekly tasks page here in my portfolio, and it contains a list of all the tasks that we were supposed to work on from week 1 to week 11. I've assigned all the tasks from week 1 to 6, but I want to go through them very shortly. In week 1, we had a reflection, and I just confessed that I was not very good in using technology in my teaching, because I had this fear of technology, and I kind of, to be honest, thought of it as a waste of time. But of course, my view changed. In week 2, we had to make flipped classes and discuss digital literacy. It was a big challenge to me, and it took almost 1 or 2 weeks of my time continuously to just search different things about flipped classes. I realized the concept, but how to implement it in technology was just a mystery to me. So I managed to do it. The main class was in Google Classroom, and I also put a Padlet link here so students can give their ideas on feedbacks on the Padlet wall. And here, as you can see, I had pre-class materials in class and other things, and I had a Padlet wall for students to reflect on the class, and also to watch the video that I had provided for them for the lesson, which was present perfect versus past simple. So it seems that it takes a while before it can work. Yes, here it works. It is the video that I prepared for my students on the subject present perfect versus past simple.
Hello everyone, today we learn about past simple versus present perfect, and we focus on time and connection. This is your teacher, Masooma Mehrkhan.
So, let's go to week 3, which is teaching perceptive skills listening. Here I learned about TED Ed. Surprisingly, this was my first time that I saw the content. I knew about the TED Talks, but not TED Ed. And this video in particular really was amazing to me, about what age is the smartest. And in Think Part, I designed some questions for students. They could answer them, and we had dig deeper with some questions in depth, and the last part, some discussions for students. And finally, the conclusion was that there is no single smartest age, and everyone is powerful in parts of their expertise. Then we have teaching productive skills, including speaking and writing. For speaking, I again went to Padlet, and here what I did, I introduced the instruction to students, and then I modeled something. What I asked the students in instruction was to advise the place for students to go to and talk about that place.
Hello dear friends, the place that I want to describe to you today is called Ordibehesht Bookstore. It's located in Street 109 in Gursar.
And the kickoff was that the students had to record their voice and comment on other students' work. And also writing part was done in Google Docs. The task was for students to give advice. We had one problem writer write about a paragraph posing the issue, what's the issue, what they are looking for, what's the problem that they are looking for solution for, and advice givers 2 to 3, they simultaneously wrote their advice in different paragraphs. Then in week 5, I think that I didn't do much. I just went to Quizlet and word wall for grammar and vocabulary. But what I want to point out here is that it was around this week and session that I realized that what I want to work on for the rest of my technology and also TFL course, because of some consequence. Through those days, they called me from Kish Institute where I work and told me that I've got to present a lesson in one of the workshops, and I chose the lesson 2A from the book Upper Intermediate for Teenagers because I was just teaching it those days. And the topic was annoying habits, and the lesson started with introducing different kind of adjectives, explaining strong emotions like miserable, disillusioned, exasperated, and so on. So I decided, why not let my focus to be on this. Moving on to week 6, formative quiz, formative assessments. I chose Google Forms. The students, again, the answers and the questions were about annoying habits. They could submit their answers and get feedback, of course, which was the aim here. Let's see how I did. Well, I think my score is not so good because I just checked them randomly. Oh, 2 out of 5. Okay, with some feedbacks. Automatically generated by Google Forms. Excellent. So, week 7. From this point, I didn't assign my task because I wanted to, because the classes were called off, but I've got all of them here listed. Classroom management and policy. I learned something very important from you about AUP, that I can have some kind of contract with my students and explain to them what's going on. Before this, I thought if I just talk about it in the beginning of the term, it would make me a strict and dictator teacher, but surprisingly, they acted much better when I talked to them about this stuff. The violation levels were: first offense, the student must put the device away. Second, I took, confiscate the device. And third, the reduction of their grade, which is very effective, and the student's name and signature and date. And then we had in week 8, we had emerging technologies, AI review. I chose ChatGPT, which is a very powerful AI-powered language model capable of generating human-like text for creating reading materials suitable, appropriate for the level of my students. And in pedagogical analysis, TPAC, content knowledge was grammar, was reading material, and pedagogical knowledge was personalized scaffold for learners. SAMR level, I consulted AI and said augmentation. I was not quite sure. I understand the concept of SAMR, but for this level, if it's augmentation or not, it still remains a mystery to me. And the integration is always pedagogy comes before technology. And critical reflection was that that risk of algorithm bias and the need for human verification is always a challenge. And AI is powerful teaching assistant, but cannot replace the teachers. Moving on to week 9, we had inclusivity. And low resource context. First, when I looked at the task, it looked somehow strange to me. But then I tried to use the internet to find out what the thing is, and it was about SEN, or special educational need learners. For visual aid, we could provide, for example, black text on yellow backgrounds or large fonts. And for audio support, Quizlet flashcards have got audio playback. And the reason I put a picture of board bar here is because for the time that the online plan is not working, we could go offline and use physical cards instead of these digital cards. And in week 11, we were supposed to cover ethics, copyright, and plagiarism. I learned that I've got to use, I didn't know about embedded videos, honest. So we've got to respect the rights of the designer, maker of the video, and embed them, not just download them and use them later. And the Padlet and every places that we use pictures, they've got to have license. I usually use Unsplash and Pixel or Pixabay because they are free and very, very high quality. And as Hockley suggests in 34, being a digitally competent teacher means modeling ethical behavior for our students. And that's the end of our weekly task. For final project, I had a lesson designed around expressing criticism and annoying habits, offer intermediate 45 minutes, and materials I used were Mentimeter and Padlet wall. I explained how I've got the procedure here. We have got some objectives, present continuous with always, pedagogical justification, content knowledge, grammar, pedagogical knowledge, task-based, and technology, Mentimeter and Padlet. In appendix, I've got my materials, Padlet again, and Mentimeter. In procedure, I've got in lead-in, I show some pictures, digital pictures, and we brainstorm through Mentimeter. But how do we brainstorm? I put the question here, what comes to your mind when thinking about annoying habits? And the students post the words that come to their mind, real time. And the feature that Mentimeter has is that if students post a word more than one time, I mean different students agree on one word, that word becomes larger and means that more people agree on that. And then we have language focus. I prepared some slides for that. I've got the picture at the end of this page. I explained subject always and verb plus ing. And the main task is done on Padlet because here I've got some posts. First, I initiated myself. I talk about my annoying roommate that always leaves her dirty dishes in the sink. And then I ask my students to share their stories, their own stories, and maybe upload a picture. And then in the last post is final reflection and advice corner. Read and like their peers' stories and come up with a golden rule to agree on some annoying behavior. For example, you should always clean your own mess immediately. In closing stage, we review the most common habits on Padlet, and I provide constructive feedback on their grammar. Can be through projector or, as I said, Padlet. Here are the same steps, but I just put them in a table because I thought it's more academic. With interaction, with interaction types, teacher, student, student, and so on. And I've got to confess that again here with SAMR levels, I asked help from AI, and they said that this is redefinition. I'm not quite sure because I doubt that if the things that we did on Padlet cannot be done in physical on-site classrooms, and if it's a whole new task without technology cannot be possible. Maybe considering that, yes, with Padlet, students can simultaneously and in real time like and comment both of them at the same time, and for different peers, for a different number of peers, maybe in distance it's redefinition. And here are some pictures that I wanted to show to my friends in lead-in and warm-up, generated by AI, annoying habits, and this is another picture of Mentimeter again, and this is the slides that I talked about, the explanation of grammar actually is inductive, because in the first slide I show them some sentences and I ask them, what do these people have in common? I can't study. My brother is always slurping his noodles. It's so exasperating. She's always fidgeting with her hair when I speak, and so on. And then I announce the formula, how it works. And this is a picture of the Padlet one. So this is the end of final project. Let's move on to reflection. It was about 1,000 self-reflection on our journey. I don't want to bother you with reading all the parts, but the introduction is the starting point. As I mentioned, I was not very optimistic about technology, but then I learned about TPAC and SAMR, and I learned that, wow, no, it's much more than I thought, and it was like an aha moment for me, especially around the flipped class session. I learned about TED Ed, Padlet, Google Docs. All of them were new to me. An effective filter, very interesting thing from Krashen's theory, because I learned that if we lower the effective filter and increase the foreign language enjoyment, it would just make the lesson to students much more understandable. There were some challenges as I talked about acceptable use policy with my students. I think I somehow managed it. And inclusivity and digital device. Being a tech savvy is not just using technology, merely technology, but to know how to replace them and include all kinds of students with all kinds of accessibility. And emerging technologies, AI and ethics, week 8 and 11. And finally, most importantly, I will always remember that the pedagogy comes first. Technology is just the vehicle. I am the driver, and my students' learning is the destination. This course has given me the confidence to be the kind of teacher my students need in the 21st century. This is very important for me because I am a conservative person, and I try to stick to my old habits and beliefs and rules, and usually not very flexible, but here I think I can find myself changing and growing. And I've prepared this presentation tab to put the link to this video, which will be likely in Apparat, so you can access it easily, hopefully. Thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me, and thank you so much again for everything that you provided to us. I hope to see you soon, and be your students again and enjoy your classes. Goodbye.